Mr. Monahan, I want to get your reaction to additional video from June 1st. These clips show the moments immediately before and then during the law enforcement surge around 6:30 p.m., a half hour before the Washington, D.C. curfew went into effect. The officers you saw in those clips, were they surging against the crowd and assaulting a news crew? Yes or no?
Another officer.
And respectfully, I don't think I can answer it with a yes or no.
So it's your contention they weren't surging against the crowd? They weren't assaulting a news crew? Picture speaks 1,000 words.
Sure, and I think that the video shows a moment in time. As to the second video, I will not comment on it. It's an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, I've heard you say it.
And based on established U.S. military protocols concerning proportionality of force and dealing with civil disturbances, both within the United States and overseas, it was my observation that the use of force against demonstrators in the clearing operation was an unnecessary escalation of the use of force.
And did officers throw flashbang or stinger ball grenades into the crowd?
Yes, and our rules of engagement dictated on June 1st that we would only use force if we were met with violent resistance. This was one of the most violent protests that I've been a part of in my 23 years with the United States Park Police.
Based on my training and experience, at no time did I feel threatened by the protesters or assess them to be violent.
The use of force that the United States Park Police employed on June 1st was in line with our policies and procedures.
If the events on June 1st in Lafayette Square were happening in Iraq when you were serving, would you have been able to handle protests the way the Park Police and their partners handled them on June 1st?
Negative, sir. Based off of the Chemical Weapons Convention of 1993 ratified by the Senate in 1997, we would not be able to handle or use riot control agents in dispersing the crowds.
You mentioned the long-range acoustic device that was used. What is the range of that device when it comes to warning the crowd?
I want to say it's 600 meters.
Okay, were the protesters within that range?
Yes.
The warnings were conveyed using a megaphone near the statue of President Andrew Jackson, approximately 50 yards from the demonstrators. From where I was standing, the announcements were barely audible, and I saw no indication that the demonstrators were cognizant of the warnings to disperse.
I heard you in your introduction say that this was tremendous restraint used by your officers, and I just find that hard to believe. But do you stand by that statement based on the video we just saw that this was tremendous restraint?
Yes, sir, I do.